Hello and welcome to Let's Ride Around Europe. It's day 13. We're on our way from Innsbruck to Ljubljana. We just came down there, did a charge here. Really beautiful view coming down there of the mountains that we're about to see on our right hand side, I hope. And that's where we're on our way to. Yeah, those mountains. Look at those. Beautiful. That's kind of the direction we're going. I'm not sure what point in those mountains we're actually going to. I do know it's the Loibel Pass. L-O-I-B-L. Whether that's the correct way to pronounce it or not, I do not know, unfortunately. But to get there, we have to do some driving. That's what this episode is all about. Yeah. It's been a pretty good day. That charge, super easy. Barely an inconvenience. The only issue is the bike is a bit warm, so we're obviously throttled. But yeah. Such an easy charge. That's been my experience all of the day. Every charge has been easy. I think the first one, Metersill? Yeah, Metersill. I stayed green the whole charge, so that was good. Then in Villach, I went yellow after the charge, and it was yellow for the whole one there. That's not bad performance, considering. But it is our last charge of the day. In 2 hours or so, I will be in Ljubljana. I will be getting some delicious dinner. But that's 2 hours away. Before then, we've got important getting places to do. Oh yeah, I forgot to say where that was. Well, it was just the other side of Wernberg from where we ended the episode last time. It'll be nothing if you didn't watch the previous episode, but that's where we were. I was originally going to stop at a Lidl, and then I realised there was a better station just a little bit further on, and I didn't really need to do any Lidl stuff. So that's cool. I actually got there with a lot of charge remaining, because it was a short leg. I neglected to check how long this one is, but I'm sure it'll be fine because it's a mountain pass, so mountain passes I do pretty well on generally. Who's a lick? I think this whole bit of Austria is all like licks and spas and stuff. It's the kind of place you come to on holidays. And that's cool, you know. We came right into a town. I did not expect that. So I guess where we started was just west of Velden. More accurately. Hopefully this isn't going to be like a long, boring time because, you know, it's some nice buildings, you know. It's nice to be here in the atmosphere of the town, even if I am rolling through it. This is what I mean by, you know, don't go raging through towns. But I can't imagine it's all that entertaining. So we'll see. I don't think it's going to last very long. I think we're coming out of it now. Here we go. There we go. So yeah, last time I talked about like my furry history. Because I've talked about furry stuff a whole bunch in this channel. You might not have encountered much of it if you've really only been watching me for the motorcycling content, but if you've watched any of my my soapbox videos, you'll know that like I'm a furry and I do lots of furry stuff. So yeah, one of the things I talked about is just like, yeah, you know, how did I get into furry and what was my journey towards being so active in the furry community as I am now. And I might bring up a subject this episode just to chat about as we're rolling along. I don't know how interesting the roads are going to be. Sometimes they're just not that interesting, you know. Like sometimes they are definitely roads that, yeah, you know, this makes a decent episode to do, but they just need a little something to keep it interesting. Like going across, don't see many of them around. Yeah, sometimes the episode just needs a little something, like rolling across Belgium. That was an amazingly chill experience for me. This is a lovely lake. But I do recognise that if you're watching it, it's not really thrilling. So it just needed a little help, a little story or two. But I don't know what this road is going to bring. Looks like it's going to be pretty. Not really like loads of amazing mountains pretty, but pretty nonetheless. Oh, it's my second yacht of the day. The early start catches up with me. Today is not as long as day 11. Day 11 was 13 hours and 10 minutes, and I think it was 10. It was over 10 hours of actual saddle time in that. Whereas today, if it's on schedule, it would be like 9 hours 20. I think we're only slightly behind. 9 hours 20. What would 9 hours 20 get us into Ljubljana? It gets into Ljubljana about 5 past 8. And we're on track to get into Ljubljana around 8:30. And all of that time has basically been dropped at Villach, because I was just about to go and then I realised, oh, I've not done like a bunch of stuff that I meant to do at this charging point while it was charging. I had to add time to do that. Nearly all of the time that I've dropped has just been there. I probably lost a little time at that charge point as well, just because I was throttled. So that's fine. The amount of time that I lose from throttling is not very much. I lose more time just having to mess around with chargers and futzing about my stuff around chargers. I should really add... I started to get a better view of what I need to do to schedule these things properly. Look at this. Look at that, like, palace. I think it's out on an island. It might be on the other coast of the lake, but yeah, wow. Yeah, I'm getting a better idea of what I need to do to schedule these better. One of those things is, I just add 5 minutes to any charge point. If I add 5 minutes to a charge point, then I'm not gonna drop as much time. I'm just like stopping and taking my helmet off and stuff before I start the charge, and like getting the charge underway and that kind of thing. There is like a bunch of time totally not allocated that you do spend on doing that. All of this traffic is stopped waiting for a train, and we're just going to be the biggest, cheekiest bastards in the whole world and drive right past them all. Yeah! Let's see what kind of train it is. I'm expecting it's like a local train. Must be pretty close to the end of the sequence with all that traffic built up. Yeah, it's a local train. And away we go. What? Oh, it's still red, that's why. Yeah. Nice little interlude. Train. That's quite a long sequence. Oh, the UK is the same. Like, I have a video somewhere of me putting the entire of Trelolo into a level crossing sequence, which of course I can't put on YouTube because YouTube. This is rather pretty, I have to say. Some trees, the trees are really nice, very leafy, really pretty buildings. Lovely petrol station. Yeah. Again, painting things. Painting things is good. Got the traditional chevrons on the door there, just back there. It's pretty cool. 30 around here. Has the feel of that kind of area. And these guys are all going slow anyway. Look at that one. It's another nice one. Neat old moped. What are these little shrines? Guess it's for like people walking the road to leave their offerings to say a prayer at. Get it personally, but you know, if it's your thing. Oh. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Lots of people out sunbathing. I want to do some more sunbathing. I love sunbathing. I don't really do it to excess. I kind of just try to sneak a little bit in whenever I can. Try to get like 10 or 15 minutes either side in the middle of the day. Is Google aware that that is a thing? Hope so. I don't think I've heard from Google in some time. Still basically going the right way. I want to keep going until we get to 91 and then we turn right. It's not a difficult route to follow. It will become so when we get into Slovenia. For now, it's okay. Yeah, this route is a little built up, I guess. But making a way around the lake. These hills are getting closer. The mountains kind of look like they might be getting closer. So that's encouraging. We skipped the edge of the lake. Hofbräu München, rather. I miss fake Hofbräus. Still. It's one of my favourite places to go at Midwest Fest. probably go to one of like the real opera houses. I know there's one in München. I don't know where the other ones are though. And probably if you're going to go to one, you want to go to the Munich one, you know? Wörthersee. Okay. That must be Wörthersee. That firehouse is kind of interesting. It's pretty cool. I think this is just going to be the whole of the video, is just this. So I guess I'll talk about some stuff, you know? What have I got? Let's talk about Midway. Midway? Yeah, Midway. Midway was a live-action role-playing game in Ireland. Like a proper outdoor in a field one. And it had swords, but also it had guns because it was post-apocalyptic. Did not have magic because, you know, post-apocalypse doesn't really fit in. But yeah, we played it in airsoft sites with airsoft guns and swords. And airsoft guns are kind of limited in what they could do, so it kind of made sense that the swords worked. And especially because, like, the rules of the game were that every reload was a resource that you had to earn in the game. So, yeah. You had to be sparing with your ammo. Yeah, it was really good. You had like mechanics for doing downtimes between the games, like earning food, using food to like do stuff like do research or improve skills or make stuff. And of course, food was so important that in-game, when you're wandering around talking to people, you could like trade it as a currency, basically. It had, you know, a few issues here and there, but generally speaking, it worked out very well. I really enjoyed it. A lot of the people really enjoyed it. It was a good time. And I certainly have some really good experiences. So the game was named after the village of Midway, which is a settlement that everyone in the game had set out from their respective hometowns to found. And it was sort of halfway between two major towns. The town founded in a scrap heap, and the town founded in beautiful farming land. And So they were on opposite sides of a giant crater. From whatever the event was. I think we did eventually figure it out. But they had sent out these two groups to find a town together, sort of halfway around the crater, to improve trade. And of course, being the curious types that we were, we had made a few forays into the crater. We'd picked up a few interesting artifacts, and one of the things about the artifacts is there were these weird mutant monsters that would show up. They're kind of like zombies, not really zombies. They're just, but they'd show up and they'd bang on the walls and everything, and make loads of noise, and then we'd have to go out and attack them. But they're really tough to take down. So there's a whole resource management thing about trying to keep them at arm's length without expending all of our bullets. And yeah, it was really, really interesting. So I played a doctor. There's lots of doctor stuff. I started investigating what the story was with these weird mutants. We even captured one at one point, like kept it in a cage. And after a while, we got a bit too greedy. My character got killed on a foray into the crater. And I came back as like a sheriff. Volleyball, that's where I'm going. I'm receiving no instruction from Google, which is lovely. Yeah. Thanks for that, Google. Yeah, I came back as like a sheriff. But a little while after that, the Shamblers, they were called. That was it. The Shamblers basically ruined the town. They overran us because we'd gotten too greedy with artifacts from the crater, which they craved. And there was a whole thing after that, which I may tell in the future, but like, I can't even. Straight ahead, okay. The bus was making it very difficult for me to see where I was going. In terms of like reading the signs. Yeah, they overran the town, and we did a whole like exodus from the town as an episode. But yeah, that was one of the best LARPing experiences I've ever had, because we wanted to hold on to stuff, myself and another player, and we got pushed out of the party and left to fend for ourselves in the middle of a field full of dangerous stuff. Pass straight ahead, and we spent, I think, an hour hiding under a tarp in the middle of a field. And it was really tense. It was really amazing. It was dark. We didn't know what was going on. There was noises. And yeah, it was really, really good. Someday I should write that down. But then after that, there was a whole thing where the town moved in with another bunch of people further away from where the crater was. And we had several episodes after that where we were essentially trying to rebuild, but I came back as a different character because obviously my character had been expelled from the village, and I was a sort of desperado hiding out of the fridges trying to find people to mug. But yeah, eventually we wound up the story, and we found that it'd be like a whole bunch of people trying to like advance humanity through science, like nanotechnology and stuff, and it had all gone horribly wrong. And that's what the event had been, and that's why the Shamblers were the Shamblers, because they'd been infected with nanotech, and they were drawn to all of the artifacts that we were picking up, because the artifacts give out like signals that the nanotech that had been infected was drawn to. It's cool stuff. But I'm pretty sure this is the end of the episode, because I didn't see the roundabout that I was expecting, but I am now on 91 heading towards Local Pass, and that is a new episode. So yeah, if you've got anything to say, if you'd like me to say more about Midway, I could sit down and jog my brain and come up with some stuff to talk about it. Leave a comment. I like comments. If you've got anything else to say, just, hit it up. If you enjoyed the episode, give it a like. If you did enjoy it, check out some of the other videos. You might like them. If you do enjoy them, consider subscribing and hit the bell. And if you'd like to reward me for entertaining you today, you can find my coffee link in the description below. Bye-bye.